Right. There are four ways that the Packers can create cap. You can extend play. Let's start with like the happy sunshine options, right? You can extend them, keep them around for longer, right? And push money down the road. You can restructure them where you're basically paying them the exact same number of dollars.
Yes.
But you're just calling it something else different in accounting land. And again, pushing that money down further.
Yes.
Or now you start getting into not so fun. You can come up to them and be like, hey, I know you're supposed to make $10 million this year, but can you make like 2 instead? That'd be great. Yeah. That's an option. Or you cut them. You can't trade them. You cannot trade because you can't trade until the new league year starts, but you need to be under the cap before the new league year starts.
So, Ken, I'm going to ask because I'm sure that this is already a question that's popping up in the minds. What if you're not? like what happens? Oof. Like if you're just like, if the Packers are just like, it's fine. It's fine. Because cap doesn't exist.
You don't want to be that guy because you're probably not going to be able to get a job in the NFL. But like, let's just say the clock turns and you're over the cap. So from what I understand is you're going to lose draft picks. You're going to get heavily fined. And then the league starts auto voiding contracts until you're under the cap in reverse order of when they signed. So you can actually, in theory, create a worse cap situation, but in that auto voiding than if you were just to take care of it yourself.
Because the league is just like, this is the price of me having to clean up your room. Like
this isn't the NBA where they kind of have a salary cap and they're like, okay, you got this luxury tax thing. No, it's like, it's a hard cap and you just aren't over it, period. So
that's fantastic.
I could see a world where the NFL maybe is like, okay, maybe instead of being under the cap right away, maybe they'll give like a week grace period.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the salary cap still exists. It's not going to go away. We're not going to have an uncapped year, but maybe for a week, you got a week more to, get your homework and get your affairs in order.
Extending the tax deadline. That's essentially what
it
is.
Right. You're doing an extension, tax extension. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So in that case, right, like you're talking about, because again, this is also the penalty of having really good players, right? Like, you look at it like a team, and this is why you try to get to a Super Bowl, like, with a franchise QB on their rookie deal, right? And you don't pay all these people all of this money because you can't pay everybody. Unfortunately, you can't turn it off like it is in Madden, where you're just like, salary cap doesn't need to happen. So in terms of like the guys who are probably I'm going to call them offenders in this case, but it's not their fault. They're making lots of money. Like the guys who are kind of like draining from the cap that either could be cut or like targets for restructured. Who are you looking at to potentially alleviate some pain?
Some pain. Yeah, a lot of pain. So I have a scenario that gets them pretty close. Unfortunately, that means we got to cut, not restructure or like ask to take a pay cut, but like you're no longer on the team. Preston Smith, Christian Kirksey, Ricky Wagner, Dean Lowry. I'm not done. That's the start.
I'm letting you finish. I'm just staring.
Yeah. Those were the four guys I've kind of always had in the back of my mind for a few months. But even then, you're still going to need to get some work done. David Bakhtiari now, you're kind of like, but didn't he just sign a deal? Yes, but his deal was structured in a way to allow flexibility depending on where the cap came in, where I think he's due like an $11 million roster bonus on the third day of 2021 league year. So like March 19th or so. And so what they'll do is they'll still pay him that same dollar amount, but then they'll convert either all or some of that and call it signing bonus. And again, push it out way back. And so then it's like $2 million for the next 4 years.
Sure.
And so that can create up to 8.3 million. So in my scenario, I have them going all the way on this, going full push out on Bakhtiari. Okay. And then I also have them looking at a Devontae extension. That guy's going to get paid a lot of money. I think he deserves it. He's going to probably be, top 2 or 3 wide receiver money in the league. The only thing against him right now is his age, but again, he's 27 or turning 28. He's still relatively young, but like
Yeah.
some of those guys are like 25 with crazy money. So,
Yeah.
but I think they can save between like 4 and 6 million in an extension there. Again, he still has his signing bonus that he'd have to work off, plus his new signing bonus. So it's not as much as maybe you might think, that you could save. But then I also have him bringing back Tunyon on a restricted free agent. I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, of course.
But that's 3.4 million. All those things combined, I have them at, you still need 1.4 million to get to zero, right? And we haven't even talked about guys like, let's bring back Corey Linsley. Let's bring back Aaron Jones, right?
Yep.
But the guys I haven't talked about are Aaron Rodgers and Zadarius Smith. There's some other veterans too, like Amos, Crosby, Funchess. Basically, anyone who's not on their rookie deal is fair game for some sort of restructure, extension, pay cut, or trade to try and get under that cap.
Yeah. Because like I feel like when you're talking, and this is how you get into a situation, right, where like you're paying guys, or you're paying for guys that are like aren't on the team anymore, right?
Oh yeah, like the dead cap for those 4 guys. If I just do a quick ad, what's that? $14 million to cut those 4 guys.
Yep.
Plus, if you cut them, as pre-June 1 cuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
you are it's like playing poker without a full deck of or full deck of cards. Like you're starting a race a minute after everyone gets a start.
And that's the thing tough too, like there's also draft picks, right? Like there's
but this is just to get to the March 17th deadline.
That's
like
just
to draft another month, that's gonna be another $1 million to $2 million, depending on if they trade up. Gutekunst likes to move around. They've got 10 picks now. Who knows where it'll be? Another $1.5 million at least that they got to find. Plus, then let's talk about, starting the season. You've got the practice squad. Those guys, believe it or not, combined for over $3 million, about $3 million that you got to have. That counts.
That money counts too. Like the money that he spent counts.
Yeah. Go figure. We're in this crazy offseason period where only 51 contracts count. The top 51, or at least the salaries of the top 51 guys. When the regular season starts, everyone counts. So there's 53 guys. Mm-hmm. So you have to add at least 1.3 million if they're like the bottom barrel salary guys. Plus, you can't go in with $0 in your cap because, as we know, the Packers move people up. All those elevations that we did, every single time they elevated a guy, that's like $30-something thousand, right? And that adds up. It was like over $1 million that they just so even keeping a small savings account of $5 million, and that could even go towards extensions for the following year, just like we used it for Bakhtiari and Kenny Clark this year. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot going on.